Hello, Tenno. Welcome to another video. Today I'm finally talking about the twins, brothers, whatever they are. Sirius and Orion. Sirius and Orion are two new Warframes. One Warframe that's split into two. Different than Equinox. They came with the Constellations update. I kind of wanted to wait out for recording this video because there have been a lot of things happening with Sirius and Orion. First of all, their release were kind of rocky. The quest, not many people liked it because there's too much protoframe filler. I agree and disagree on that. Like protoframes were good, but we didn't have to have them almost all of the quest. And then there was another thing with this update where people didn't like Sirius and Orion's certain abilities, especially Jade Stars, because it was kind of weak. So then they got buffed, and now they are in a good place. This is the build I use. I use this for Sirius, and this for Orion. Orion's build is a bit more, how can I say, like with ages, like survivability focused because he doesn't have a good tanking ability. Meanwhile, Sirius has the damage reduction one. I mean, you can benefit from that as Orion while you swap to him, like inside the dome, so like, it doesn't matter that much. But let's quickly go over the abilities. Oh yeah. Also, both of the brothers have Wrath and Pride. I kind of like Wrath more because it gives you critical chance when you slam enemies. Pride gives you status chance when you slam enemies. Like, they're heavy sides. They don't have any other gimmick besides that. Their stats are fine, kind of mediocre. So, like, they aren't, like, mind-blowingly good compared to some other Warframe release weapons that have been released so far. But anyways, I digress. Let me quickly talk about their kit, really quickly. So Sirius and Orion is unique by the fact your brother is there. He can shoot while you equip your primary weapon. He's gonna use the secondary, and when you're using the secondary, he will use the primary. You can swap between them. It will cast his abilities while you're casting your abilities. So yeah, the gameplay can be quite interesting, and that's about it for the flavor thing. Let me quickly remove the sentinel. Alright, so Sirius. Their passive is connected, of course. Their passive is that whenever you cast an ability, like, wait, whenever you swap to the other brother, your next two ability casts will have higher efficiency, and I believe this stacks. And oh, here's the first ability of Sirius, by the way. He throws his sight, it can pick up stuff while it returns, and you can hold it to swap the other brother. And the brother casts his own version of it, which is like a shorter range version that deals slash damage. I don't know if Sirius has like a proc, it probably does. But yeah, Orion's one is a bit shorter. It's not even like a 180 degrees, by the way. It's like a 60% degree. And here's the passive I'm talking about. Swapping between them grants 45% ability efficiency for the next two casts. If you're using Streamline, this can also be funnier. Having a bunch of efficiency is always good. But don't go using fleeting expertise and Streamline on them because I'm pretty sure ability efficiency is capped. Like you cannot go real high with it. The other passive is when below 50 energy, Sirius and Orion will steal energy from each other. So if you have low energy, but your brother doesn't have low energy, it has high energy, you will steal energy from them. So they have good energy economy overall. And of course, the passive also incentivized, whatever that word is like, it basically tells you to swap a lot. And when you swap, you also gain stacks for your fourth ability, which I will go on later. Sirius's second ability, Jade Stars, was kind of weak, but now it's good. Basically, whenever you deal damage, these stars will shoot at enemies, they will deal heat damage, and they will recharge real fast. This is also the Subzoom of Sirius, and the Subzoom of Orion is the second ability as well, the Shell one. And you can hold this ability to swap to Orion, so Orion casts his own too. Now, Jade Stars is also very fun to use with other Warframes as the Subzoom. You can basically create many funny combos with like Nova, Banshee, Protea, Robin, like the list goes on. The Astral Shell is basically Loki's clone. You just leave a clone behind you, enemies can shoot it. When they shoot it enough, it blows up and deals damage. However, the damage this clone deals is horrendously low, so I wouldn't rely too much on that. Like, I hope that gets buffed because, like, I don't want it, like, if it was a nuke, that would be funny, like something you could charge and then blow up. But yeah, it doesn't happen. You can hold this ability to swap to Sirius so he casts his own too. Sirius' third ability is the Dome. It basically gives you damage reduction up to 75%, I believe, which honestly is not that high. Because these days, Warframes can get up to 90%, or maybe even 95% of damage reduction. And this ability being 75% feels kind of lackluster. So maybe buffing it to 80, 85%, or maybe 90% if you're brave enough can be better because like most warframes don't edge around 75 anymore. They just find different ways to be tankier. And again, hold ability to swap to Orion to use around like basically all of their abilities except the fourth ability has a hold version where you swap to the other brother and they cast their own ability, which is quite neat. And the third ability is quite interesting for both of them, to be honest. The Light Sanctuary also revives your allies that are in the bleed out mode. It kind of takes a bit, and then the ally has to be in like bleed out mode. And this has a 1 minute cooldown. I don't know how to feel about this because I'm pretty sure Oberon's regeneration is like instant and it doesn't even wait for the bleed out, same as Trinity. But I digress. Event Horizon is simple. You throw a black hole, it bounces around, it grabs enemies, and you can also cast Sirius, the green one's first ability, to maneuver it back to yourself, because it grabs pickups, and the black hole is one of them. The fourth ability, Astral Crash, basically when you swap to your brothers, these stacks on the bottom left will appear. Um, it doesn't matter which like stacks you get, as long as like each stack means more strikes you will do, and you will need all of the stacks for those strikes. Basically, what the four does is you should cast it when you have full like the full circles, because with like if you're missing two right here, you won't do the full damage. Also, as you can see, the crosshair, the left side is orange, and there's a right side triangle as well. What that means is whenever the side is lighting, you have to click the corresponding button. Like since it's left is lighting up, you have to left click. If the triangle is lighting up, right click. Like now is yeah, right click, right click, and yeah, right click again. If you have full stacks, by timing these left and right click, not only you will deal extra critical damage if I remember correctly, if you do all of these left and right inputs correctly, the last hit of this 4 will have a special animation and will deal extra damage to enemies. However, the fourth ability has an LOS. What does that mean? LOS is line of sight, meaning the Sirius and Orion has to see the enemies to kill them. That's one of the parts that pisses me off because like obviously they're kind of focused on their 4 and the other abilities are kind of simple, however they can be complicated if you mess around with them. I honestly think maybe an extra text will be fun with their kit, but like they're fine as is. But I genuinely feel there are problems with the abilities. Like, why is it 75% damage reduction? Why does the 4 need LOS? The 4 needing LOS is the weirdest one to me because both of you are flying in the air and it is like difficult to see the enemies around you, so you cannot tell when you are hitting them unless you are in an area that has no objects that will block your line of sight. So, in my opinion, if the line of sight was removed from the 4, it will be better. This is the build I use for Sirius again, by the way. Sirius's build is simple. I still use primary redirection, just in case, with adaptation as well, just in case. I don't use Aegis, I use Hotshot because of Jade Stars. Jade Stars is an incredible ability to stack up those heat procs, so that's also one of the funny things you can do with other Warframes as well. You can turn all of your Warframes into an arcane hotshot dispenser. It works well with Mesa. I didn't try it with Protea yet because Protea's turrets are coded as secondaries. So yeah. This is Orion. Orion's build is a bit more tankiness focused. Like I didn't put any shield regen mods because I don't think he needs that. Like I'm just relying on the sanctuary, but I still put like primary direction, adaptation, and aegis just in case. Also, like you can probably put Molt Augmented or another second arcane. I'm just being cautious. Arcane Energize is a personal preference. If you have good energy Archon shards, like yellow shards, if you use those, you can do that as well. Like, I just like gaining energy the easy way. So basically, how we play Sirius and Orion is simple. You just play them. You swap around, you combine your things, you do your black hole, jade stars, all that jazz. You gain those stacks. The enemies die really easily, so it's kind of hard to show. Let me just put some on tank here. You put your stacks, you gain your stacks, you do your abilities, and with the Arcane Hotshot, you'll reach red crits really easily. It's really fun. And let me just cast one more ability, I guess. Yeah. Now I have max stacks, then I go to my fourth ability, but I'm gonna spawn some enemies for that, because since there's nothing blocking the site here, I should be able to nuke them. Alright, so I'm gonna click my 4. I have right click and left click now. So I'm gonna go right click, like whichever is lighting up. Like now it's left click, right click, because it's a triangle, left click again, right click, and at the last hit, they do this spinning animation and deal extra damage, but every enemy is already dead. So that's how we play Sirius and Orion. I'm gonna go to the live gameplay now to tell you guys about how do I feel about them. By the way, like I said, like these are the Wrath and, Wrath and Pride, like they have status and the critical chance when you slam enemies, this can stack. But I'm not that interested in these heavy sites because, like, yeah, cool, slams nice, but they don't feel that like fun to use, if that's the right word. Like they don't feel that good to use compared to some other heavy sites like, Talus, Corfell, maybe even the one that's from Zerman that I forgot its name. Especially Talus is like a better heavy site because it also has an Incarnon. But anyways, let's go to live gameplay. Alright, for closing thoughts, I gotta say, Sirius and Orion, after a release like Folly, by the way, like Folly is an insanely fun Warframe. After a release like Folly, Sirius and Orion kind of feels lackluster at certain areas. Like, the damage reduction being 75% feels kind of limiting compared to Folly's 90%, which all she has to do is just kill enemies. And it's like the range is probably really as almost as big as Sanctuary, maybe even bigger. I don't like the fact that their fourth ability has to have an LOS. Maybe DE is concerned about another Dante incident, but I don't think it will be that much of a big problem. Maybe their abilities could have used one extra text for more spicier abilities, but as they're pretty simple, can be complex, you can mess around them. They're basically a walking sandbox of what you can do with the black hole bouncing, returning things to yourself, having two different characters that at the same time can cast their own things. The Jade Stars is really fun on Sirius, and as a subsume, it lets other Warframes do very funny things as well. So overall, I'm quite fond of Sirius and Orion. My only concern is I hope they get buffed in their certain abilities, and I hope they don't get Band-Aid augments, because Band-Aid augments is a headache that Warframe has for the longest time. I still think Band-Aid augments is a flawed system because certain buffs, instead a mod that takes a mod slot, can be harmful at times because it does affect your build. But I'm not gonna go too much into that topic. Like the Sirius and Orion is cool. They can use some touch-ups, but overall, they're quite fun. Though their signature weapons are kind of boring. Like, I'm pretty sure you can make some amazing builds with them, but as heavy sides go, Talus still takes the cake. And Corfell too, to be honest. So yeah, overall, they're pretty fine. I quite like them. That's all I will say about Sirius and Orion. They're quite nice, really unique after Equinox having two different Warframes at the same time. Swapping things is funny, and therefore it's pretty cool. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about Sirius and Orion? And make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I see you, Tenno, in the next video.